So this is our Alexis deck profile, Delta.
Blue.
And this is a deck that we've had built for quite a while, but we haven't deck profiled it yet because we were getting so close to the release of her new cards that we figured we would wait. So this is what we're calling our 7 stars Alexis deck. I mean, she used her Cyber Tutu, Cyber Prima, a 12 Cyber early on, along with all the Cyber Angels in the first, and then she just continued to use that deck like throughout the rest of the seasons. So we thought she'd keep it simplest.
Except for that brief period when she was in the Society of Light. But so it was pretty much, she had this theme deck with the, basically these female monsters that are cyber, part of the cyber style. Her deck held through pretty much throughout, the GX series.
Same deck like whole series.
So...
And so now we finally got a bunch of new cards from Konami that her deck desperately needed, so we can make a really good Alexis deck. And first up, this is Blade Skater, card we've obviously had for a while. Also makes up Cyber Blader, along with a 12 Cyber. And you'll notice that all Alexis monsters are at 2, which makes sense.
This is kind of the combination we felt so that we didn't have triplicates of cards, but, that they weren't at 1.
Yeah, like so 3 of this monster, 2 of this monster, 1 of that monster.
It's for consistency. 2
Cyber Gymnasts. It's really, really good. Like, you actually really want to always see this card because it's great at dealing with attack position threats. 1800 defenses and shabby too. But yeah, really just getting rid of your opponent's monsters. 2 Cyber Petite Angel. One of those awesome new cards that we get out of Dragons of Legend Unleashed. Thank God, Konami, because... a lot of Alexis, it just didn't really feel that much like an Alexis deck without the Cyber Angels.
Yeah,
There's just like 3 of all of her first cards without any of the Cyber Angels that primarily became her monsters.
Yeah. It really was like just a half-loaded thing because we really had half of her, what made her deck,
Her deck.
Yeah.
This one has a slightly different effect in real life than in the anime. Konami changed it a little bit. We didn't bother to rat it. Then we have Cyber Prima. One of our better monsters. I mean, 2300 attack for a tribute isn't that bad. It's destroying all face-up spell cards effect can be useful. And it can be the entire tribute for Idaten or Benten ritual summon. So that's always cool. Cyber Tutu. Pretty notable. Getting a lot of, those direct attacks. To use double passe with it. Not much more to say. These are just Alexis's monsters. Not too much to say. At 12 Cyber. Kind of good. This one also counts as well. Double passe. She would use this one to get 1700 damage off a direct attack. And then, 600 defense. It's decent. Other component of Cyber Blader. And now we're on to those nice new cards that Konami gave us. Thank you for finally printing them. Cyber Angel Ben 10. So now, it is very important that you guys know we often errata cards that have been drastically changed from their anime effects. Sadly, almost all of Alexis' cards were drastically changed by Konami. They have many new effects, don't really resemble their cards from the anime. So, like all the other 2 Cyber Angels, Ben 10 is errataed. You can check out all our erratas in our document down below, card errata document. Alexis' deck list will be typed up in our deck list document, by the way, that many of you know we have. So, I mean, Ben 10's not my favorite Cyber Angel because she just does some extra damage. You can lower your opponent's monster's defense. But, that was her effect in the anime. It's useful sometimes. I mean, her effect in real life is like she get to search something too when she's tributed. Like, it's crazy. Then we have Dakini. Again, like I was saying, we errated it to its anime effect, which is your opponent destroys one of their monsters when she's summoned. And then she has piercing. So she's the biggest Cyber Angel though. So like oftentimes in duels, like if you're staring down Dark Magician or something, like you need to summon her. But also you're staring down like a Blue Eyes, and that's your opponent's only monster. They destroy it. You get 2700 attack monster. Pretty useful.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's like we really are not always a fan of changing cards, but they made these cards more geared towards competitive play, so they have additional effects. Of things that if we had an Alexis deck, it would make her deck really good. Yeah. Although she was good in the anime, she was not necessarily... it would give her an edge over other characters.
By having these like super power creep effects that are much more powerful than what
So again, we are definitely routing these without a second thought because we want them to feel like the anime cards where they had a good effect, but it didn't, really.
Just destroy all of the characters because they're so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dakini's. I mean, you need the exact levels of all the Cyber Angel monsters for Machine Angel Ritual because we have two errated Machine Angel Ritual. So Dakini, you need like scapegoat tokens in Cyber Prima, or 4 scapegoat tokens in level 4, or like Cyber Petite Angel and one of your level 6 rituals. They're not they're not hard to make, any of them though.
Yeah.
Like you can usually make them.
And it is interesting that again for these are rituals that need the exact amount as opposed to, well, it needs to be at least whatever.
Stars.
Like Relinquished, it needs to be at least 1 star. Okay, I think you can do that pretty easily. And they all work off the same ritual spell, so it's kind of you have one spell and you get different options. It's not one spell to one monster, which would of course make this deck that's very ritual centric, way too bogged down with matching the right spells and monsters.
Because rituals are inherently bad in Yu-Gi-Oh. Her last monster, Idaten. Now, Konami, changed this card and gave it extra effects too, but they changed its effect from the anime of just grab a spell card from your graveyard when summoned to only being able to grab a ritual spell card. So we errated it so it has the same effect of any spell card, so that is slightly better. But in character deck duels, just summoning a 600 monster by ritual summon and grabbing a spell isn't like super broken. Sure, you can use Power Beat a couple times, about the worst you can do. But yeah,
because everyone who plays competitively knows how it would be just too good to get any one spell card back.
Play.
So, but again, for anime duels, it's not that same effect because you get back Pog Read or you get back the Ritual Angel. It's like it's not a deal breaker.
By the way, guys, if you really like us, feel free to click on an ad because that's just the money that we use to make these decks, and a lot of you know that. And if you have an ad blocker turned on, consider turning it off just to send some of the revenue our way from YouTube. But yeah, moving on to our spells, Diffusion. So, in our old deck, we had a ton of Diffusion, ton of Fusion Weapon, ton of Fusion Recovery, because we just had to max out on as many cards as possible.
So yeah, the deck was changed a lot when the new cards came out, because it wasn't just the matter of adding, 4 new monsters and 2 copies. So it wasn't just adding 8 cards. Now we were able to add certain cards in her deck that they did print, but were for rituals only.
When she had
so again, the new cards Konami printed were able to help us add even more cards
that were in her deck
to the deck. So it's like if Konami decided to print, say, Plasma Eel, we could also add Turmeric Stack
Machine Duplication,
which is a card we have, but there'd be no point in adding. So now it's that whole add one, add more.
Fulfillment of Contract, just the kind of card we're talking about. This is actually really good, especially if you have Idaten. You use Idaten, grab back a spell, Idaten is destroyed. Special summon Idaten, grab back another spell, awesome. But you need to have actually properly summoned the ritual monster first. So you can't just discard Idaten to summon Ben 10, then Fulfillment of Contract back Idaten. Yeah. Fusion Recovery, you're not going to see a lot of play, but still in there. It's good if you, do use grab Polymerization for another Cyber Blader if you want.
Because again, now her deck went from being just fusion based to now it's a mixture of fusion and ritual. So the deck does kind of have 2 different engines in it.
Going in it, yeah.
1 ritual, 1 fusion,
and then fusion weapon. Like we're saying, another fusion. This is errated, so it can be equipped to Cyber Blader. Because Konami made it level 6 or less, and Cyber Blader's level 7. It's one of those weird things. Yeah. So
again, our erratas not try to match that. If you have a card combo in the anime that doesn't work in real life because Konami changed something, we want to fix that. Otherwise, the card has no point being in your deck.
Yeah, you just can't play it.
There's nothing to use it with.
Oh, Konami. 3 Machine Angel Ritual. She did play 3, so 3 must be included. Also, just for consistency, we want to include 3 anyway. Again, like I was saying, we have the Cyber Angels errated. We have this errated as well. Because Konami gave it an extra effect that you can banish from your graveyard. It's just changed so drastically.
Because they just really can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah, basically. Ever. Alexis seemed to only have 1 of each Cyber Angel in the anime. Now, obviously, we need to duplicate cards for Alexis' deck, so we have multiples. Now, the cool thing is you can grab this back with, like, Idaten, so you can make more than just 3 Cyber Angels.
But assuming you couldn't grab any back, you do have enough
To make
one-offs to make each one.
2 Mystical Space Typhoon. What more needs to be said, really?
Again, you know, as compared to the original anime, the GX anime, there were more MSTs going around, and there was a lot more spell and trap removal, which is, you know,
Good.
it's in the original anime, but not as consistently as GX, where it seems like just about everybody had some form of spell and trap removal.
Mystical Space Typhoon is also a great choice to grab back off of Idaten. 2 Polymerization, you know, makes Cyberblader. If I talk about Idaten a lot, it's because, I mean, it's good to grab back a spell. You know, might be one of the Cyber Angels are going to the most. So you can go into Idaten, grab back Machine Angel Ritual. The Machine Angel Ritual, your Idaten is part of a Dakini, which is just a huge play. You can do stuff like that. Bob Greed. You guys know what it does. 2 Ritual Sanctuary. So we got 6 new Alexis cards in total. Again, they drastically changed Ritual Sanctuary. Its text is like 1 line long in the anime, and this one you can tell is like 7 lines long. So its effect is just that you can discard 1 spell card to add 1 ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. So, I mean, you can do that any amount of times per turn with the anime effect. So, theoretically, you could just discard 1 spell to get Machine Angel Ritual, discard that Machine Angel Ritual, get another one, discard that second Machine Angel Ritual, get the third if you want to do like a weird Toon Table of Contents and 2 Table of Contents type thing. But you definitely want to keep your Machine Angel Rituals. But regardless, this lets you see the Ritual spell more, which is, you know, good. It just helps your deck. Rituals are pretty inconsistent because you need the Ritual, the monster, and then a tribute for it. So
they're generally inconsistent. Yes,
Yeah.
we know some people can make them consistent. We're not.
yeah,
saying
like
they're never
Necroys are really good, but you know, there's an inherent problem with the way rituals are made in that they cost a lot of card economy, and they're not the most consistent. But Ritual Sanctuary and Cyber Fatigue Angel will help out with that. And then we have Ritual Weapon. You know, 1500 attack to Ritual now can be included. You know, because we have rituals. And by the way, I mean, we could always theoretically, you know, use the printed effect for a card that we have errated right now. You know, it might be subject to change, but this is what we decided after a lot of testing that we felt was the best for Alexis' deck.
and the best for our anime meta as well.
2 Scapegoat. Just great card. You know, Joe used it first. Summon 4 tokens. I mean, the advantage is you can use it for her ritual summons. That's the one big advantage that Alexis' deck has. Warrior Turning Alive. Can also help you make a ritual summon. You know, you need a Saber Tutu because you have 1 in hand and you want to make a level 6 using the 2 Saber Tutus. Go for that. It can grab back Prima. It's a really good card in Alexis' deck. Yeah, I mean, Alexis is a lot of cards that are just like really useful, and like even Scapegoat, it's a defensive card, but it's useful for ritual summons. A lot of stuff like that. I like Alexis' deck. Alexis is actually one of my favorite characters, so her deck really excites me. A Double Passe, another card that, you know, I'm so happy we got in the Dragons of Legend packs. I mean, they've just been great. Yeah, you know, I already said what combos with before. You can use this with like Dakini though, for like 5,400 points of damage if your opponent tries to attack over Dakini with like blue eyes or something. So that's a really cool combo. Hollow Life Barrier, Alexis' only other trap, at least that they make. I don't know. I think she may have had more. Yeah, she definitely did. But anyway, yeah, Hollow Life Barrier. Discard card, protect yourself from all damage. Pretty good, can really save your life, you know. So she really has 3 defensive cards. This Double Passe and Scapegoat. And then we have 2 Cyber Blader. Yeah, you know, this has been Alexis' deck for a while. She can get some good effects to, you know, make her a little powerful. 2100 attack isn't bad. But now, I mean, you really see ritual summons happen with Alexis' deck a lot more than fusion summons. But still, really cool card.
And in the original deck list, there were 3 because it was kind of her trump monster.
Yeah, we didn't have the
rituals.
Cyber Angels too. We had 3 Polymerization.
And now that we have that, it's down to 2 copies, so that it's more balanced with all her trumps, her rituals, her fusions. They all stand at 2.
Hopefully you guys like that. You know, let us know what you think. We did a lot of testing to try and make sure that Alexis' deck really flowed well. We wanted to make sure we got her Cyber Angels right. And we're also going to be doing a duel with this soon, so take a look at that.
Yeah. Again, this is what worked for us. If you want them on a rad, if you like a different way.
Yeah, I mean, people can play
totally
however
fine.
they want.
But this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to present it.
Yeah, and as always, guys, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Check us out on Facebook, the usual.